Hi everyone, good morning. It's the Sedona International Film Festival in our 32nd year. I'm Tanya June Moore. I really love my job, especially when we have alumni in the seats and A-list celebrities. But I particularly like it when I have someone that I adore in the seat that I've known for a while now. But before we get started, and I get to talk to these beautiful ladies, I want to give a huge shout out to Northern Arizona Healthcare, to Northern Arizona Mercedes, to all the city of Sedona and the volunteers that make this festival possible. We are known colloquially as the Filmmakers Festival, and that's why we're here. This is what we do. So please share our content, put it out there everywhere, watch the YouTube, get these interviews out there because this only helps us bring more incredible films to Sedona, our little market, and we love it here. And here we go for a whole day full of interviews. Day 4, I can't believe it. Please introduce yourselves and what roles you play in the film.
Well, I'm Dale Griffiths-Stamos, and I am the writer, director, producer of Imbalance, a feature film.
Yes.
And I am Sharon Lawrence. I am one of the leads in the film Imbalance and a 20-year colleague of the filmmaker Dale Griffiths-Stamos, because we did this as a play 20 years ago, and she has adapted it into her first feature-length film.
Yes. Bravo.
Thank you.
Brava.
Brava.
So we have a trailer, and I want to get the audience all caught up with us, and then we'll
Mhm.
have a whole conversation because everybody's buzzing from last night. So roll the trailer, please.
How do you know something? What I mean is, how do you know that you know what you know? Philosophers have been asking that question for millennia, but it's even more relevant today.
I hear you found a last-minute replacement for that TA.
Yes, Richard Amato. He's a very interesting case.
Dr. Drewer. Here I am in the office of Dr. Elizabeth Drewer, thinking I'm talking to a living, breathing, very intelligent woman. But solipsism says that my mind is the only consciousness that exists. How does that not excite you?
It's Richard. It's like he has this hold on me. It's like the air changes when he's in the room. It's wrong. I'm bound to report this all to administration, and all hell will break loose.
I'm falling in love with you.
No, we need to ignore what happened.
What you're talking about is a violation of students' rights, consensual or not.
Where are my ethics? Where are my limits?
We've opened a Pandora's box. But here's the thing, have you ever heard a version of the myth where Pandora could close the box once it had been opened? We gotta find a way to make this work.
Reason. It does provide us direction when we feel lost. But
In the end.
it is, in the end, not always enough.
Swoon.
Swoon.
You hear us giggling over here because I hear sniffling a little bit. It's so sweet to watch this with the woman who created it from her imagination.
Isn't it?
Mhm.
Isn't it? Girl. Lady.
Yeah.
Queen. You have brought us something that is not only filled with women's empowerment, but also, what the heck have we been doing for the last, what are we doing here if we're not showing up and just doing it?
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
So it was a play that you guys did together
Mhm.
20 plus years or 20 years
20
ago.
years ago,
20 years
exactly.
ago. And you had to make a movie.
Yeah.
So you rewrote and turned it into a screenplay. What was
Right.
that process like?
Well, it's interesting because at the time, some of these issues were not as prevalent. So, yes, it was not okay to have a relationship between a professor and a student. but the Me Too movement hadn't come along. And Title IX, which used to only be at universities for sports, for women's sports, to represent women properly in sports, broadened its reach so that it became also about any kind of predatory behavior within the student body, but also professor to student. So that opened the door for all kinds of lawsuits. And those lawsuits are still ongoing. If you look at the newspaper, you see at the news, you see all of these cases across the country. So it really has become a very relevant issue now more than ever.
Yes. Well, thank goodness you're here at the Sedona Film Festival. We could talk about the Divine Feminine Rising, because that's exactly what's happening.
Yes.
We're going to Sedona, this is our woo-woo moment. You're a screenwriter, an award-winning playwright. I mean, when I first met you, I was tingly all over. I know what the John Jory Award is. And here you are with a feature-length film with this incredible actress in the lead. What was it like getting into this after 20 years ago? Like, now you're at a whole different place in the world. What was it like getting into this role?
Well, thank you, Tanya. You recognize the leap that the culture has taken, as Dale has mentioned, and what it means to support other women. That's been a mission of mine since I came up through the ranks of men dominating the storytelling, whether it was the playwrights that I worked on at school, whether it was the composers and directors and producers on Broadway that I had worked with. And it wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles to shake things up for myself after my own Me Too. What do I want to call it? Forged in the fire of my own Me Too movement. And I joined an organization called Women in Film. You're probably familiar with it. There are chapters all over the world, but the mothership, as we call it, is in Los Angeles. And I'd gone to one of their award shows, and it was a room filled with women who were driving the train. And not just the familiar faces that I had seen on a screen, which were certainly aspirational icons, but the executives behind that, the people making the decisions, the women who were fighting. For now, it's been 50 years that organization has been in place. And we are seeing the fruits of that mission. But we still, while we may have mandates at studios and networks that say 50% of the directing staff must be women. And this is a voluntary
protocol.
Yes, but we're seeing that, but we don't have parity in terms of pay. And what Women in Film taught me was say yes to women. Say yes at any stage of their impetus to create. So I have done that. I said yes to Ava DuVernay's first feature-length film. When I say yes, for me, it's about the service. It's not necessarily about the result. And we've had such a great result here. It was a joy to work with Nicholas again, my co-star.
Yes.
20 years beyond that time, he's grown into a man. You know, he was 25 then, he's 45 now. And we have such a trust that we could shoot this movie in 13 days because we knew each other so well and trusted each other to deliver, and that we could lock in and flow rather than have to figure out how to shift gears with each other. It was all already there.
Yeah.
And I think within this time period that I've grown, this is just a culmination of dreams coming true.
Yes.
And your festival is certainly a highlight of that. So thank you for including us.
Well, women tell story different. And we know this.
Right.
And we're proving it over and over again. I mean, even if just within this festival this year, like, I just had somebody in the seat yesterday, and the whole film was edited by all women.
Mhm.
And you can tell. It feels different.
Right.
It looks different. Right? And so, here I am sitting with someone that I cannot wait until everybody knows who you are. Because you deserve it. You're now seeing it on the big screen at a huge festival, and I know you've seen it's been other places, but you were here last night with a bunch of cinephiles. I mean, like, our audiences love film,
Yeah.
and they're very particular about what they watch. What was the feedback? How did it feel? Did they laugh at the right places? Did they in the right places? Did they ask the right question? What was going on?
Oh yeah, and this is one of the reasons why we're trying to do about a year's worth of film festivals, because I love that experience of being in the room with the audience. And every audience is a little different, which is interesting. This audience, I listen for two things with this film. I listen for quiet, and I listen for the laughs. And I always write dramas that have at least some comedic elements to them. And so those are the two things that this audience, of course, did deliver, those quiet, beautiful, quiet moments, and then laughing at the wonderful, humorous supporting actors that we had, like Karen de la Peña, Collison and Paul Whitten brought all this wonderful humor and brevity and lightness to it. And so I listened for all of that. And then the questions were so intelligent. I mean, they knew philosophy.
Yes.
You know, they had academic backgrounds, and it's really nice to be asked questions by people who know some of the elements of the subject matter we cover.
Well, and the most wonderful thing is, right, like, I always go spot check. I'm one of those people that watches movies.
Yeah.
And then I go, So I watched it twice.
Yes.
I got to go back and I'm going to Google because I don't know everything.
Yeah.
Right? And it was all true. It was all real. Right? It was
You mean
all-
the philosophy?
All the philosophy.
Oh, right. It's
Right?
accurate.
It's all
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah, it's
And
accurate.
I mean, I do that because I'm like, all right, there's so much misinformation out there in
Yes.
the world. I want to know.
Right. Good for you.
We
I like that.
Well, I was a journalist. I
Uh-huh.
thought I was going to be. Anyway, and you played right into that with the seriousness of, I am not going to mess this up. I cannot mess up. Her character just felt like, I can't mess this up the whole time. And I'm like, girl, come on.
Well, what's powerful about playing a woman who's a leader in a field that had been dominated by men. I mean, I think we have to constantly look back at context of eras and time. And I am one of those women that have benefited from so many of the movements that have opened the doors for women. But although the doors may be open, our spirits may not quite be ready to step through that door with the full power and freedom. And she is a product of her time.
Mm-hmm.
She's a product of a father who she loved dearly and never wanted to disappoint. And his standards were set so high. And she is on this pedestal. Whether she placed herself, whether she climbed up there, whether she was born there, or whether she is just afraid of the other part of herself. She represents something that I felt is relatable.
Yes.
And when she is toppled and she falls and breaks, she does have a dear, deep friendship with her colleague that is so restorative and really important. I love the maturity of those women's friendship. She does make amends to someone who she has misjudged and been so critical of, another colleague.
Yes.
And that dynamic of colleagues and the relationship is so informed by Dale's maturity and her generosity of spirit, which we saw on the set through her leadership. And then she blossoms into what's reflected in the environment of our beautiful location, Santa Barbara. You know, we
gorgeous.
worked on evolving that with all the layers of the wardrobe and the styling, and a female DP who I thought was important to have, to understand just subtle things that are coded into the way we view the world.
Well, and there's one of my favorite scenes. Well, I love the relationship between the main character and her former husband.
Yes.
Because when he first shows up, I'm like, okay, why are you here? Like, what are we learning from this character?
Right.
But then that beautiful scene where they have a moment and he tells her the truth. And she has to face her own ego.
Yes.
Your facial, I mean, you didn't have to speak. There was nothing you needed to say. It all read on your face, which was one of my favorite scenes in the whole film. It was one of the places I stopped and rewound. I was like, let's watch this land And you reacted to that. And there's a
you.
lot in acting that I feel is missed because nobody's reacting to really what they're being told. They're just talking from their own ego. And your character, you didn't do that. You took that in, and I was like, "Woo! Ouch! Ouch!"
I want to name my
Yes.
fellow actor, who's
Yes.
a colleague of mine, James Morrison, who you might know from 24. He's got this elegance, and he's a stage actor, as am I. And I recommended him because I know how honest and true he can't hit a false note.
No, not at all.
And without him I think it would not have pulled from me. I trust him, and she trusted me in this recommendation. And he is, if you get a chance to see his solo show called, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking
It's okay.
on the name of it. It's a solo play about his son's, their family's journey through a brain tumor that his son survived. Leave Your Fears Here. That's the name of the show. I'm just putting that out into the universe here in Sedona because it should come here.
Oh my goodness.
You should
Make sure
see
tell
here.
Patrick.
Yes.
I will. Patrick, are you listening?
Yeah.
It is glorious. I've seen it. So
Yeah.
shout out.
No, shout out. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
We love those things. So here you are. I mean, I've seen all your films. I support all of them. They all have this beautiful, just the way you see things. Every single one of them. Now you're going to have a feature. You've got the cast. You've got everybody in place. You know what's happening. What do you really, truly want to happen with this film, aside from distribution? Of course, we want distribution. What do you really want people to walk away with? What do you want from this?
Well, that's interesting because that's it was interesting how you asked that question because you said besides distribution. And most filmmakers love to say, well, I want to see it, distributed. Sorry, just coming off of a cold. My editor and I, and Sean Blodgett, who is also one of our producers and has been with me from the very beginning, and we worked very closely in editing, in post-production, he said to me, what is it you most want? And I answered without hesitation, I want a lot of eyes on this film. I want a lot of people to see it. I want to share it. I want people to respond. I want people to be touched emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. And I want to see some of that.
Yes.
And this is one of the reasons that I decided to do a year's worth of film festivals, because that's where you can see that happen.
Yes.
And the distribution is kind of a cherry on the top. Yes, we have someone working on distribution for us. We're going to be doing all of that. But for me, writing has always been an act of connection. It's always been me and you, me and the audience. And getting that feedback is just such a lovely experience. And here we just had so much beautiful response.
Right.
And that just brings me so much joy. None of my work has ever been about financial gain. Not that wouldn't be very nice.
That would be fabulous. Please don't, honey.
And yes, I would love that. But it's always been for me about what it is I'm trying to say and communicate. And this film, because I was involved, you see my name all over the place, which is kind of annoying, but it basically tells you that I did so much that I always say it's my vision. If this film works, it's on me. If this film doesn't work, it's on me. And then to have someone like Sharon, who, by the way, Sharon was so collaborative with me from the start, giving me a lot of her own expertise, because I was a newbie to a feature film. And so Sharon was just this, voice of advice and just wonderful guidance that I was so grateful for. And then I will tell you that this lady on set, first of all, you knew everybody's name. I don't think I knew all of the crew members' names, and you did. You would call them by name, and the trust that you gave me You know, once we were past all that pre-production detail stuff, it was like you entered the set and then, okay, Dale, now I'm yours. You know,
Tell me what to do.
tell me what to do. Tell me when it works, when it doesn't. I trust you, which just, you know, that's again that her putting her faith in women,
Yes.
and in this case in me, was just such a gift.
Well, and it shows up on screen. You can tell when people are having a really good shoot. You can tell when everybody behind the scenes, everything is working.
Right.
I have to ask, what was it like getting into this 32nd year for here?
A dream.
Yeah.
I mean, the first year I came here, I had a short film called Match Made,
Yes,
which I had written but not directed. Later I got into the directing with the shorts. And we won the Audience Award for shorts. That was my first year here.
Wow.
First of all, I didn't know that there were film I have now judged so many film festivals against Sedona.
We tell people that.
Oh.
Yeah,
We
because
say,
this...
sorry if it's your first festival.
Right, because,
Right.
and it wasn't my very first, but it was early on, and I thought all festivals would be like this, you know, and then, of course, I did 70 film festivals with the short films, and went to quite a few, like 30, 35. They're not all like this. Guess what? You know, they're not all like this. The sense that the filmmaker is king and queen here
Yes.
is just palpable. And so, yes, I wrote to Pat and I just said, I've finished my feature and I'm sending it your way to your festival. And I'm very hopeful that I'll get to return with my first feature. So I was delighted.
Yes. And we were, I mean, when I saw your name, I melted. I was like, it's finally happened. She's finally done it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here early this morning. This is early for us in Sedona. And being here last night and sharing with the audience everything that you did, because I mean, there wasn't hardly anybody here when I came in this morning. It was being talked about. So
Okay.
that's big news. And I like to keep my ears open to the VIP room and to what the chatter is, because that helps me know, okay. Yeah. So, I
Well,
mean, having you here.
I'm so glad to be here. It's a beautiful place. I think I needed an escape. It's a very busy time
Yeah.
for all of us. And my flight was delayed, and I didn't, you know, I had to pull myself together to make it to the screening, and I didn't get to go to the dinner last night. But I'll be here all day today and soaking it all in, because festivals are part of my maturation in the business too, and seeing how the communities come together. Your gorgeous facilities here. You know, I've been to film festivals where some of the films are shown in trailers. I don't mean the trailer of the film. I mean in
a
Trailer.
So this is elegant and it's hospitable and it's sponsored beautifully. So congratulations on 32 years of a community that steps up. And thank you for hosting us. And I look forward to meeting the filmmakers.
Please.
And I
They
hope
will
that-
love you. You will. All of our A-listers that come, they just keep coming back because
Oh, great.
I think,
Yeah.
and for me, I think I see why, because you don't get overwhelmed. Like, people aren't like crazy.
Swarming you, yeah.
They're just respectful and they just want to say hi and they want to know what's going on with you.
Mhm.
They're very genuine in our audiences. So when we get people like both of you here, it's a big deal for us. And it's a big deal for all of our volunteers and everybody who makes this festival happen, because
Yeah.
it's not just Patrick who's a big part of it. I mean, he's the captain of my
He's
captain.
astounding
Yeah.
at
He's
what he does.
astounding.
Yes.
Front of house and back of house.
It's everything and everything after that he touches and how he puts everything together. Right? I mean, that's how we got this room. So thank you. Thank you.
You are welcome, and thank you,
You're welcome.
Tanya.
Stay tuned. We have an entire day full of interviews. There's so many films and only so much time. Please share. Please talk about our films. Share our interviews out. We work really hard, and these filmmakers, man, I want everybody to see their films. And I will see you in this seat shortly. Please hug a volunteer today. And I'll see you soon.